ZTE shows here in Berlin on the IFA two models of the Nubia series. You all may know, I guess. This one is the Z9, and here on the right side, that's the small brother, just 6 millimeters. Here it's called MyPrague. I'm coming to this a little bit later. Let's start with the flagship here. First, let me introduce you the screens. As you see here, both are 5.2 inches full HD, but here on the Z9 it's a little bit more, it's slimmer here, and that's why you get just a 68 millimeters in width, why the Z9 is really good lying in your palm, even for 5.2 inch. Don't misunderstand me, 5.2, that's really huge in normal cases. But here your finger, your thumb can reach without any problem the opposite corner of the display, and you see these small bezels here. So that's a good idea in my opinion, to make it slimmer and a little bit larger here. And we come to the features. Here we go. It's a Snapdragon 810, meaning octa-core, 2 gigahertz. You have Dolby Surround 7.1. You have 16 megapixels camera with optical image stabilizer, videos in 4K, and on the front, it's an 8 megapixel camera. And now comes the best. We have two different versions of the Z9. The small one with 3 GB of RAM and 32 GB internal memory. And the big one, 4 GB RAM, here we go, 64 GB internal memory. But on the other hand, you have to be aware you can't expand the memory. You have just that one slot for a SIM card, no slot for SD, so you have to stick with the internal memory here. So I would suggest that your decision would go to the big one here at this. 4G, of course, and everything you want, don't have to talk about that. Slim problem here is you have that fixed built-in battery. Okay, that's why you have front and back side with glass and metal frame and everything, so you can't remove anything. It has 2,900 milliamps, so that could be okay, but we all know the problems of the Snapdragon 810, so let's wait for the review how long the battery really will run. Staying with batteries, let's start this one here. This is again fixed and built in, 6 millimeters, of course, 150 grams aluminum here. Feeling really, really great, especially flat, and nevertheless, it's, let me go like that here. It's stable. If I'm trying to wind, you do not see any black dots where the glass is pressing down onto the panel or hurting something like that. I don't see anything here at the moment, at least. And here the battery just 2,200 milliamps for the same 5.2 inch full HD display. So really you have to see that, how in the test it will do. On the other hand, it's a Snapdragon 615 processor only, octa-core 1.5 gigahertz. And here we have two different versions again, 16 and 32 gigabyte and 2 gigabyte or 3 gigabyte of RAM. And in that case, like I told you before, you have an SD slot as well, so you can expand your memory here. Again, 4G, Wi-Fi, AC, and everything you want to. 8 megapixels, again, the same on the front, but on the back side, only 13 megapixels. You don't have that optical image stabilizer and not 4K videos, but on the other hand, the price is very much fewer, so let's come to this one. Here from the Z9, we start at round about 500 euro and 600 euro for the big one. Global prices may vary in different markets. And here on the MyPrague, we're around about 350 euros for the smaller and about 400 euros for the bigger version. So see that difference here. So maybe you can have a little bit mercy concerning that feature setting, and maybe even concerning the runtime with that 2,200 milliamps battery, but we have to see. And by the way, that's nothing special here, that's demo software. But demo is a good hint for me. I just wanted to show you one feature of several ones that ZTE has shown here. So with this gesture, you can see you can adjust the brightness of the display without going into settings or something. That's very kind of, handy, let's call it that. Very, very smart and clever and quick. So I love this feature, and there's tons of more, but I do not have the time, unfortunately, here to have that device any longer because it's IFA, or IFA in English as you call it, so we have trouble with the time here. I hope that's enough for you for a quick first impression of the Nubia Z9 and Nubia MyPrague here from the ZTE booth in Berlin from the IFA. Thanks for watching, take care, bye.